The Fraternal Order of Eagles number 190 in Massillon wants you. Stop down to the Massillon ARE at 303 Wyrick Boulevard Northwest. And like our over 1,800 members experience daily, your Eagles membership will give you access to great food and drink specials. Having a party? Host it in our banquet facility and seat up to 400 people. When you're coming through downtown Massillon, stop by the Eagles and sign up. And for a small fee, you'll have access and be a part of a fraternity that donates over $100,000 a year to local charities. The Fraternal Order of Eagles ARE number 190 in downtown Massillon. Stop by or call us today at 330-832-7385. Welcome in, everybody, to Stark Media High School Football Weekly, and today we're here inside of X Golf off of Whipple Avenue. Make sure you stop out and check our good friends out at X Golf. I'll tell you what, they got some good stuff coming up here. If you're looking to get into a fall league, they have their X League. That's going to begin on 10/23. It's 10 weeks of play, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. It's $300 a person, three-person teams. They're going to have prizes, drink specials, a lot of stuff going on here. They have food. Make sure, though, if you are going to join this league, you have to get out here before that starts, and you're going to have to play a round. You can play it right back here. You'll play Bay Hill. You have to get a round in, or you will not be handicapped. So for all of you out there that think you're great golfers, if you don't play that opening round and get your handicap, you'll be like Jeff Tyler over here, and you will be starting as a scratch golfer. Not everybody golfs like Jeff Tyler. So make sure you watch out. Make sure you get out here. Come check them out. You can reserve your spot at 330-704-4366. Come here, check out our girl Jen over here. Takes great care of us. Love coming out here to X Golf. We've been coming out here for a while now. And as I introduce my guys over here, Jim Bostic, Jeff Tyler, Rod Strata, always rolling with me here on Stark Media High School Football Weekly. Guys, let's dig right into it, man. McKinley Jackson had a chance to go over there and call that ball game with my guy Bobby Cummings Jr. And the Bulldogs wrapped up the Federal League title. Mm-hmm. It was impressive. Oh. Jackson has had some issues going on in regards to being able to win football games and struggled against Lake, carried over to Glen Oak, carried over to McKinley. McKinley's a whole different animal right now, though. With all those skilled players, you look at Alex Vasquez and also Keith Quincy, both picking up offers from Akron. There's skill, Jeff, to be able to go all the way around. And Keaton Rohde's got weapons to work with. Now he's got a dual threat running back. Jim, you've talked about that. Stephon Thomas and also Nino Hill. These guys are really firing on all cylinders. But defensively, they just came out and they just shut down Luke Eckerman, made sure that he didn't get out of the pocket, put pressure on him, harassed him, and that was the tail of the tape. Finished out 28-7, all she wrote.
I'll tell you what, I'm the one that did last week, right? Talking about this big match between Hoban and Massillon, right? Guys, 2 weeks, man. We're going to see the Stark County game of the year, right? With the Bulldogs and the Tigers, and it's going to be probably, if things follow suit, it's going to be 9-0 versus 8-1, and that's going to be a fun game.
It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be exciting,
sure.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like TJ said, McKinley's got talent all over the field, D1 talent everywhere, just like not quite as many as Massillon has, but it should be a great matchup. Now, hats off to Coach Hall for keeping these kids together. He's dealt with some personnel things. He's dealt with some off the field things with some players, and he's kept them together. He's trying to do what he needs to do to keep them afloat and focused, and he's done that. And you drop in one game only to Avon, who's a hell of a football team. So
yeah, Well, McKinley is strong at the moment. Now they've clinched a share anyway, right?
Yep. Well, really, if you look how it shakes out, Rod, even if Glen Oak were to beat them, Glen Oak still has 2 losses inside of the Fed, and there's no losses on McKinley. So
they've got it pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay. And
that's 5 out of the last 7 years that they've got at least a piece of it. So you see that dominance inside the Federal League.
No question. And, it's interesting, poor Luke Eckerman, right? Got sacked 10 times against Lake, got sacked 10 times against the Bulldogs. And if I've mentioned several times now, Jackson's got a nice ball club, except the front line, right? The offensive line, and we've talked about that a lot, TJ. You have to have an offensive line to succeed, because, like I've mentioned before, you give Luke time, he will throw a dime.
I think, too, that they tried to throw in a little bit of a wrinkle. Bo Balderson did by putting Kyle Benson in the backfield. That didn't work again, because you talk about the guys up front. It doesn't matter. We know the run opens up to pass opens up to run. But if the boys up front can't get that done, then you're going to have some issues. And I'll tell you what, for you guys down there heading out to West Branch. We're out there in Beloit. You guys got to see a heck of a game.
Wow.
You know, when you look at some of the receivers inside of this game, the catch that Davis made, the one-handed catch, you know, working with his quarterback Zerbrug. But really, I think you guys, would you gander to say, walked away pretty impressed by Bo Alzos?
I tell you what, you know, we went in there. You've been talking about Bo for 2 years, and he could have been the starting quarterback last year. Dude's 6'6", 200 pounds, and can sling it, can throw to every level. I was talking to him today, actually. We were sending messages back and forth, asking him. He doesn't have any offers yet. I can't believe it.
Oh, you were with the quarterback?
I was messaging
They
Bo
were
today.
twitting.
Yeah,
we tweetering.
Tweetering.
No, they
Something
were
like that.
Xing.
Oh, Exon. Okay.
He said the only offer he has right now is a roster spot with BW.
That's crazy.
He is way better than a D2 quarterback, in my opinion.
Well, I think we got to help him out a little bit.
You know, and a part of that could be he's only on his 8th start, right? He didn't start last year, so, you know, some schools might be late in the game on recognizing his talent. But he's got 2,200 yards already, 25 touchdowns, throwing 68%. He threw for 419 yards in that game that we saw. And if you would have just walked in and said, okay, Brendan Zerbrug, who's a great quarterback, or Bo, who's going to Oklahoma, I don't think a fresh eye would have been able to tell you who's
Well,
who.
yeah, if you'd have done that old, like the Pepsi taste test, right? If you went in and didn't know this quarterback's name or this quarterback's name and no history.
Right.
And you watched that game, West Branch has a better quarterback in that game.
In that game, for sure.
In that game. And he also, I mean, they ran the ball up and down the field too, right?
Yeah.
Our player of the game was
Jeremiah Thomas.
Jeremiah Thomas, right? And
set a record, 94-yard touchdown as a school record.
Wow.
On receiving, he had 7 catches for 162.
I mean,
He was everywhere.
It was a shootout, and I think that you know, it could have gone either way. But West Branch, they controlled the ball at the end, just like the game with Glen Oak, right at the end when they played. I'm going to blank now, but anyway. Jackson, when they played Jackson, right? Glen Oak had the ball at the end. West Branch had the ball at the end.
Yeah.
They kept getting the first down, game over. So they controlled their destiny at the end of the game because had they not, it could have
gone either way. That was one of the better games we've seen as far. You know, we saw some great endings. We saw that great ending with Jackson against Mayfield.
Yep.
But this was heavyweight on heavyweight, back and forth, slinging it, just back and forth all game. You really didn't know who was going to win. And you brought up Kayvon Davis. He just now picked up his first D1 offer.
That's crazy.
This week.
That's crazy to me.
And he had 11 catches for 245.
And he's got the frame too to go along with him. I mean, he's all of 6'3", 210 pounds.
Yeah, he can definitely control defensive backs and get up in the air and go one-on-one real easy.
I think speed-wise, he's probably more of a tight end at the next level.
That's what I would say.
With his size, you know, he's got the hands, and I think he can block a little bit. I don't think he can go toe-to-toe on against a D1 corner.
Right.
I don't feel, but he'd be one heck of a
great
tight end.
Yeah. Let's not forget Boston Molinox, right? He ran. He's at 802 yards this year with 102 carries, and he leads the team in touchdowns with 13. Good little running back.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys, if you follow along on him on Twitter, appreciate Boston always plugging us on there. He's fast, but he also has the strength to go with it. He's a weight room junkie, so he's really kind of filled out this year. And that's a loaded West Branch team. It's going to take on Carrollton this week. So
he's only a junior,
5-3, and you know Boston Molinax coming back, leading that group. They're 7-1. You know they're going to have a chance to put their EBC title in the trophy case. But Jim, when we start to look now at we'll call it middle of the road with the Federal League. Green was able to get it going with Perry. They went back and forth, but ultimately Perry got back into the win column, able to handle business.
No, absolutely. I'll tell you what. Finishing up that game, of course, 20-14, and again, the name that comes up, right? Christian Ivanic. Young man, gained 191 yards total offense, right? I mean, we talked about him last week, 2 back-to-back 200-plus yard games that he had, that night or Friday night, 2 touchdowns, 24 carries for 133 yards, caught 3 passes for 58 yards, And again, I got to be honest, right? I picked the Bulldogs in that game. I thought there was a little bit more weapons on that side. And I talked to a buddy today, too. I said, well, what's happened to Ryan Hartshorn, right? I mean, early in the season, we were talking Ryan.
I was thinking the same thing.
And I guess, according to what I've heard, is they've kind of flip-flopped those positions, i.e. Ivanek is now coming back at the main tailback, and they're kind of, stretching out Hartshorn. So they flip-flopped the two of them, where Ivanek is now the feature back. And, and for, Green, Tyler Hunka, again, we know he's the backup quarterback. He came in for Mason as he was hurt,
Well, there was another guy, Joey, was in the middle there too, right? So, I mean, really, Tyler was the third quarterback going into the deal. So.
And that's a great point, because really the night that their lead quarterback went down, that wasn't the name that came in. Hunka is actually, you're correct. He's been the third guy up, if you will. But I'll tell you what, this Perry team, man, I mean, early on they took some lunch. You guys saw the McKinley game, and we thought, but man, hats off to your alma mater, Rod. I mean, man, they are fighters, and they just keep coming. And I'll be honest with you, talked to a couple guys. Lake's watching a lot of tape. It's nothing for granted here.
No. Perry's definitely going to give people a game, and they'll surprise you. I think the big difference in that game last week against Green was the interception for a touchdown. I think that was the game breaker, right? Which
that's the difference in the score right there.
The difference in the score.
Defensive touchdowns, special teams touchdowns. They usually play their hand out in a football game. They don't end up getting you victory.
That was Austin Maddox who did that. He ran, I think it was, 76 yards.
Yep.
Second longest, I believe, in school history.
Yeah.
So he was able to put together a nice little stretch in that ball game.
That was a pick 6 plus.
There you go, man.
A lot of play. And get real quick, before we leave, talking about Maddox playing quarterback and defensive back, and of course all you guys playing, how is that for a guy have to play both ways, right? I mean, you got some of our bigger schools. For the most part, here's the offensive 11, here's the defensive 11. Our smaller schools, these guys got to go,
Let me ask you guys, did Bo Alazos line up and play linebacker?
No, not too much.
Because he wrapped at linebacker last year because DeShields was over at quarterback. So I wasn't sure with him being the starter, not QB, if he would get any reps over there.
I didn't notice him. I had my eyes more on what Zerbrug was doing there, but I don't think he really lined up much. They're probably just trying to keep him in a bubble and keep him
not easy. Not easy to do, Jim. I mean, I haven't seen many quarterbacks that have gone over there and been studs and been counted on, and whether it's linebacker, secondary, you obviously don't want to risk getting them injured.
Right.
But there's, I'm not going to sit here and say that quarterbacks aren't tough, but there's just not a lot of guys that are cut to be able to go over and do that.
Right, because, I mean, one bad hit on defense, now you're down to your number 2, your number 3. But again, I guess, hats off to our coaches, the guys that are working with these kids in the weight room, the conditioning these kids have to go both ways. You guys know better than anybody, but it hats off. Well done, coach.
And it wasn't even supposed to be Maddox's deal coming into the season, Rod. Carson Basham goes down with the hip injury, and then boom, you're thrusted into that starting gig.
Well, that's the key, right? Once you're thrown into something, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And with good coaching and with great attitude, you do it. But, what's interesting also is when I start thinking about defense and I start thinking about Perry and some of these others, it'll be interesting this week to see what happens.
Yeah, and I think that kind of the same thing for Hoover and Lake. Lake trying to figure out how they were going to bounce back after losing to McKinley, and that kind of ruined their Federal League title hopes. Hoover, they've now had some struggles in their own right. Nonetheless, talented football team, but when Carson Derlin had gone down early in the ball game, kind of changed the entire complexion of what Hoover was able to do.
Now, before you get too deep in this, I brought the towel today. We got the give thanks towel, right? A little holiday season. I give thanks, truly give thanks to you guys.
I give thanks to you. I give thanks to you guys.
No, straight up. But I get, if you guys remember, right, I picked this as my upset of the week. So, Coach DeGeorge, I got to wipe some egg off the face here. So,
I don't think that's thick enough for you to sit on.
That's
the pillow.
I forgot the pillow, guys. I'm going to hear about it from my wife.
You're not going to get any gain from that. Trust me.
We need to get one of those.
No, well, let me try.
We need
here.
to get
no,
one of
I
those
need
haircut.
it later. I got another one yet
Crank
to go.
it up.
So I can't do
Bring
that.
in a mattress.
So I had to throw that in there, brother, because that was my upset pick of the week, and boy, I got upset.
Well, and I think, honestly, when you take Carson Derlin out of the equation, that right there, that's probably at least equaling 2 scores off the rip.
Yeah.
So when you look at the score of that ball game and Lake able to get it done when Derlin goes out, we already know how much that Lake defense can flex with Lippy, with Garo, with Christopher. I mean, all these guys. I mean, they keep coming. Evan Brady. I mean, keep lining them up. Baluch. You got big boys up front getting it done. I mean, Lombardi. All these guys, they just keep coming after you. It's like, this is a really good Lake defense. When you're with a backup quarterback, they're just teeing off on you.
Well, and Derlin goes down, right? And so Brocker moves into the QB role. That takes away one of your wide receiver threat. Now we don't have this guy downfield. He's under center, and, now you got a second or third string guy at wide receiver.
Yeah, you have a domino effect, right?
Yeah.
When you don't do that. But what I was going to say earlier, and I kind of lost my train of thought. Playing both ways, though, that's, playing one side of the ball versus the other. And I guess, again, I'm old school, but TG knows this. Back when I played, you played both ways.
Yeah.
There was no doubt about it, right?
You're 16, 17, 18 years old, man. You should be in good enough shape to be able to do that, right? You want to play football?
Yeah,
play
right.
football.
Let's go.
In most cases, you played both ways. You're on the punt team or the kickoff team, the kickoff receiving team or whatever, and you're on that field the whole time. But it's changed. I get it. It's changed. Now it's more specialized. I get it. And there's more focus on the athleticism, and if these kids can get a D1 scholarship or D2, whatever scholarship they can get, so that's where the focus is. And also, almost like snipers, right? They want to be the best at that position.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think the other thing you have to look at too, I had a good conversation with our guy Jamie Falls Knight, who's part of the Combat Sports Division. How many reps was Brocker really getting in practice when he's already being your lead wide receiver?
Right.
So how many reps is he really getting at
Hardly
quarterback? You're not going to have him repping with the first team on offense at wide receiver, and then when you bring in the twos, have him go in there and play quarterback. I mean, you're trying to figure some things out on who's going to be backup, but you're limited in the reps that you can get during the week. So, for the Lake Blue Streaks, they keep rolling, and now you look at a team that continues to rep and rep and rep, and every time they do it, they look really, really, really good. Massillon goes up and rolls over Fitch. Every year I keep saying it, man. I feel like Fitch, maybe they're going to compete with them for at least 3 or 4 quarters now. This was a smoke show here, man. The Massillon Tigers, Jameer Gamble has arrived. Mook, they call him Mookie. Mookie has arrived. He is putting himself, he's planting his flag and saying, hey, I'm the lead dog and running back in Northeast Ohio. You got some numbers on him, Jim? I know you. I know.
Jim's a numbers guy. You know he does.
I know you got Mookie's numbers.
I'll tell you what, man. 233 yard rushing. Two touchdowns that night. You know what? And you two guys on the end will appreciate that. Reading through some of his quotes, it really hit me. And we've always heard this as just a spectator, right? I mean, Pee Wee football don't count as playing. But, he said it all starts in the trenches. Mm-hmm. And, hats off to that young man, really given, he's done great things, but he's given the credit where that credit due. If those guys up front, you guys have said this numerous times, if they don't open the holes, he doesn't, get the yardage that he does.
Right.
He does.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was really a cool quotes, comments by this young man. His second carry of the night, right, a 53-yard touchdown run. And then he kind of repeats it right in the fourth quarter. So like the bookends, let alone that 233 in the middle. The young man, comes out fourth quarter, a 48-yard touchdown run, and just. Like you said, Teach. I mean, he's planted the flag.
Look, we've already said that this is maybe the best Massillon team I've seen since maybe in
the last 10 years they've had some really good teams.
Yeah.
They've made a lot of runs. I think a stretch of 5 or 6 consecutive regional championships.
Yep.
And to say this might be the best team is like, whoa, really? I mean, think about those dudes.
Well, my point is that up to this point there hasn't been really a true running threat.
Yeah.
Pringle will go both ways, and Pringle was running the rock over there, but he's not a true running back. He's more of just a hard-nosed football player, right? Now they've got a guy that steps in here as a true running back that adds another wrinkle to what Massillon can do.
Yeah.
That's going to be scary for Division II going forward.
Well, there's no question. I mean, Jameer had a great game, but you think about this too, though. DeJuan Owens is a leading rusher.
Just going to go there. Yep.
The quarterback is their leading rusher.
Right.
So you take him with Jameer. Boy, I mean, that's a whole nother level.
Taking your leading rusher to that next level, at least what we're reading, right?
I mean, you want to talk about dual threat.
He leads for the school, right? I mean, he broke a record that was held by Willie Spencer since 1994.
Wow, I've heard that name in a
boy, Willie.
19 years that
That
record
was
held.
selling those Cadillacs.
And
That goes back to kind of the Rod era.
What's that, rushing yards?
That
as a
was
QB?
rushing
Oh,
yards.
no,
Yep.
we're talking. You're talking Daddy Willie Spencer. We're talking Willie Jr.
No, I'm talking about
Yeah, you're going back,
You
man.
got way back. But no, 783 yards rushing. That young man now holds the Massillon quarterback rushing record.
Wow.
You know, think about
So-
this too, Rod. At the beginning of the season, most people, not me, would have said that Evan Sergo was probably their best returning lineman. I leaned a little bit towards, Jeff, in our Stark Media Fantasy Draft last year. I'm a Sam Snodgrass fan. I like his versatility. He can play center. He can play guard. He can play tackle. He's a tough guy. Evan Sergo goes down. Maybe I think he had the highest accolades of anybody on that offensive line last year. So they kind of flip-flop some guys. Take Nolan, who's being recruited as a tight end, which you know how that goes, Rod. 25 pounds later after that first year, he's going to be a tackle anyways.
Right.
So you try and work that out. But then they shuffled a little bit. You got Jason Lewis, who transferred in from Alliance, and he was a guard. Now you pop him out to tackle. Albeit a great football team, a great offense, you're still rotating some guys up there, and that's not always a perfect science.
No,
Right.
it's not. Because who's up and who's going to have, not everybody's going to be in the same playing field mentally on the same day,
Yeah.
right? You think, you would think all the players would be and the team would be, but it's certainly a team sport, but it's individually mental. It's mentally individual.
Well,
right?
and there's a difference between playing the right side and the left side.
Well,
Of course.
even more or less, even more to that, Jeff, Rod, it's one thing just to go right to left. You're just switching your footwork, but it's
Right.
one thing to go from guard to tackle.
right.
Guards,
technique.
the whole different deal. You're surrounded by guys. You're surrounded by a tackle and a center at guard. When you're out there at tackle, you're on the island. So if you're a
Totally
big
different.
dude who's Jason,
Wow.
Big J tips the scales now. You better have great footwork. And not to foreshadow anything, but we will. They're expecting to be playing Hoban in the playoffs.
Right.
But let's talk about when they play McKinley.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
You're going to have what I saw around Dior Garner, which I think he's elevating himself to the best defensive tackle, best nose guard maybe in the county, alongside Mike Wright Jr. That's going to be a battle to watch in Week 10. But what Braylon Foster and Minor do coming off the edge, there's speed and there's quicks there. They could give a big dude that's 360 some issues.
Well, you see that quite often, right? And going right to left and not minimizing it. I mean, it's got to be easy because I did it all the time. I played strong side, right side of the tight end. So as to TJ's point, it's just a matter of which way you pull. and get
Can
your-
somebody tell Jedrick Wills that it's not that hard?
Yeah.
It's really not. Trust me. I mean, it's rod proof. It's really not. Trust me.
Rod proof.
I like that. Wait a minute, you're not going to patent that too with you, like
they're
the
all patented.
coast to coast.
like
Oh, they
that.
They're all
are.
patented, yeah.
Got it.
But there's no question, right? You see it even on Sundays, or you see guys that make a lot of money that cannot. Let's do it this way: a Myles Garrett, okay? Now he's a beast in all aspects of the game, but take it back to high school. If you have Myles Garrett types at this level, and you can't move your feet, you're done.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
all about feet. It's not about how big and strong you are. It's about can you stand from him and move him around the pocket.
Yep.
You know what'll help with that, Rod? If our football players would go on to the wrestling team in the winter as we get ready for our combat sports,
nice
that'll
plug.
that'll help their hand fighting, hips, and footwork. Anyhow, I just had to throw that plug.
Nice
to
plug.
But you
I like it.
you guys are talking defense, right? And you guys have always talked. We've talked a lot about Massillon defense throughout these 7-8 weeks together. Only allowing less than 9 points a game. The run game against Fish, they only netted 12 total yards. And this is the 6th straight game that Massillon has not allowed a rushing touchdown.
Ooh,
That's amazing,
That,
isn't it?
Isn't that
and
crazy?
That goes to Cody Fair.
So-
That goes to Pringle. That goes to Mike Wright.
Cody
the
Fair's a
D-line,
wrestler.
Chase Bond.
So we're
Cody
going to have
Fair.
some work to do before we get to that game, and we're going to focus on this week, of course, but of going back and looking at stats and looking at comparative teams because it may be the best team in this era, right? So we have
Could
to
be.
look, but they've had so many great teams, right? And one thing about Fitch, Jeff and I had that Fitch Glen Oak game, and I think without the Fitch without a passing game,
They're dead.
they're done.
Yeah, toast.
So-
And they, and Fitch has 3-4 kids going D1. They got some talent.
They do.
But when you're going against a team that has 12, 14 kids going D1.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to describe.
Whole
Just like,
different monster
just like
right
I
there.
always say, they have no idea what they're walking into.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, when you walk in here to X Golf, you're really going to love this place. If you haven't been out here yet, make sure you come out here right here on Whipple Avenue, right next to the old Circuit City. If you remember that back in the day, that's telling you something, right? I was telling Jeff, I spent a little time
bought
in
a
Circuit
computer
City.
here.
You know, got the
Yeah.
subwoofers and the 6x9s.
Willie's dad was around when Circus City was there.
Willie, yeah, my man Willie.
I'm curious though. There's only 3-man teams. What start meeting going to do? We gonna have to sub in or alternate shots?
Now, thank you, Jim.
Oh, okay.
You are allowed to have subs in this league. So again,
okay.
the 2023 Fall X League here, you're allowed to have subs. It plays and starts on 10/23, October 23rd. It's 10 weeks of play. $300 for a team, $300 a person, 3-person teams. As Jim said, you got subs. You got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can come out and play your golf. You got to come out here and play Bay Hill before you do that, though, so you can get handicapped. All you got to do is call 330-704-4366. Talk to Jen's wonderful husband, Chris Herbergs. I'll tell you what, had a chance to play football, my first year of organized football over there at Taft for his brother, Brian Herbergs, who's the golf coach over there at McKinley. So shout out to my guy, Brian. But remember, when you come out here, so much to do. You got the different golf bays, you've got games, you've got pool tables, you've got shuffleboard, and great food too. Loaded nachos, buffalo chicken dip, barbecue pulled pork, pizzas. Come out here and check out X Golf. Great things going on. Cocktail menu, all types of deals here at X Golf. So make sure to patronize them. All right, before we get out of here real quick, guys, Jim, you had a chance to go up to CVCA. Thought that was going to be a little bit closer of a game. CVCA.
I didn't.
Logan Scranton. Logan Scranton.
I actually picked CVCA, but I lost my pick. Go ahead.
They flexed.
Yes.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. Appreciate our great friends at Toth Buick GMC for making that
absolutely.
pick.
Great pick.
Yeah, think about that. Northwest rolling. Satterfield doing all this. CVCA, I think, they made up their minds they weren't going to let Satterfield beat them.
No, absolutely. And before I get into it a little bit there, again, we're going to take the towel out because if you guys remember,
I said
dozen
eggs on
that's going to be the weekend game of the week, right?
This starting to get a little tiring with this towel.
That was 2 times, all right? I'll do a little better in my picks, But no, you're right, TJ.
No, you don't need to do better in them.
What's that?
You don't need to do better in your picks.
I do
worse
need
in
to
them so we can get a little bit of a
gap. Yeah, wait till we get to the picks. And Rod picked the entire state of Ohio, so yeah, that might take a while. But anyhow,
always complaining.
You guys have no idea. This is 24/7 with these days.
Oh boy! But I'll tell you what. We talked about. I really wanted to see the battle of the 2 running backs, right? Connor Satterfield and Parker Kraft. For Northwest, you had Joey Kopic and Logan Scranton for CVC. I wanted to see those 2 guys go at it. Whose dynamic duo was going to come out on top? Game gets on, and there's no Parker Kraft. And Dave and I are looking at each other like, where's Parker, right? Game's going on. And then Dave at halftime sees Parker walking the sideline, nursing, and later on found out from Coach that he had a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Did not play the game. Sean Ritchie comes in. Sean, good job. Tried to pick up the slack there for Parker. We don't see Sean Ritchie in the second half. Apex Surgical injury update. Sean breaks his collarbone during the first half. So, Sean's out. But I'll tell you what, hats off to CVCA. I'm going to tell you what, Coach Cook over there, and again, you guys, I think, as players would greatly appreciate, the sound, fundamental football that these guys play. I mean, it wasn't, spread this, spread that, flash this. It was either 2 or 3 backs in the backfield. Who's going to get the ball? Smash mouth football. Up the gut they go. And I'm going to tell you guys, Logan Scranton, he was a monster, not only as a running back, but then defensively as a linebacker. In fact, he was our Hilsher Clark player of the game. Hats off to that young man. But again, you go from Scranton, now we give it to Kopic. Kopic, he takes off. But I'll tell you what, the quarterback there, Charlie Levick, a sophomore, he broke open 2 big runs to keep some drives going. And that young man's got some hips. I mean, he's moving.
He can throw the ball, too.
And he can throw the ball very well. And again, really cool. And I say this because my brother and I was a senior. He's a freshman. We had a chance to wrestle together in the same team. Really cool. To me, that's just something very special to be able to play with your brother. His senior brother, Ricky Levick, right, was a wide receiver out there. And there were a couple broken plays, and I told Dave, I said, that's the old backyard. You're the bottle cap, I'm the stick, get open, right? And the sophomore found his brother a couple different times. Wrapping up a couple cool things there over there. And you've been over to CVCI, to do a game over there. they had prayer before the game.
Yeah.
You know, I called it was the alma mater, and all of a sudden they're praying, which was awesome. I mean, giving praise to where it belongs. That was really cool. And then asking Dave at the end of the game, all right, and you got Rod and TJ, you'll appreciate something. The last hit, right? You guys have the last, I guess what they call the last hit. I was talking
like
about
a
Dave.
senior tackle
Yeah,
type
like a
thing.
senior tackle thing. And they did it at the end of the game. And I'm guessing the player got to choose who was going to hold the bag, right? So mom and dad came out, or grandpa, or a coach, and all the kids were around at the thing, and they didn't want to go home. I mean, it was, and Dave, of course, 25 years coaching there through his years, he had a big smile on his face, because he'd always, and he said it usually happens at last practice.
Yeah.
He said it was a really cool twist to see mom and dad holding that bag, and here comes my son to take care of that bag. So, again, hats off to Coach Cook. The CVCA, the Royals go to 6-2. They're in the playoff hunt. I was looking over at some things there. There's no statements yet. Control your destiny. You're in. Anything else? But they're right there in the thick of things, Teach. So great night over there at Royal Stadium.
Good stuff for CVCA. Northwest will look to bounce back and get things rolling in the right direction. I know that Coach John DeMarco will have them ready to rock. All right, we're going to step aside and take a break here at X Golf. When we come back, more high school football, Stark Media High School Football Weekly, right here at X Golf on Whipple. Here's a word from our sponsors. We'll be back after this.
At C.H. Vallis & Associates, we've been proudly serving the greater Stark County community for over 78 years. Locally owned, we cover your home, auto, business, and life insurance along with your group benefits. Our partnership with auto owners has allowed us to span not only Ohio, but throughout the entire country. Did you know that Auto Owners, an A++ rated company by AM Best and a Fortune 500 company, has ranked C.H. Vallis & Associates a top 10 insurance agency in the state of Ohio? From your basic home and auto needs to insuring some of the largest companies in America, there's a reason people choose C.H. Vallis & Associates and Auto Owners. Our dedication and passion for our clients and their coverage is part of our commitment to excellence. For all your insurance coverage needs, there's only one call to make, and that's C.H. Vallis & Associates, located at 1302 South Main Street in North Canton. Contact us at 330-494-2776 today and see the difference in customer satisfaction.
McNeil & Sons Tree Service serves the greater Northeast Ohio area by keeping your property clear all year round. Do you have trees that have stretched too close to your home? A rotted tree that has to go? Or perhaps even storm damage? No job is too big or small for McNeil & Sons. We specialize in large tree removal, storm damage, stump grinding, land clearing, and more. McNeil & Sons Tree Service is fully licensed and insured, so contact us today at 330-606-1126 for all your tree care needs. Or visit us online at mcneiltree.com to schedule your free quote. The professionals at McNeil & Sons can inform you of your tree health and give you a risk assessment to keep your family protected. So call today, 330-606-1126. McNeil & Sons Tree Service, a company you can depend on with family you can trust.
The leader in quality drivetrain components, H&H Truck Parts, is a name you can trust. Located in Valley View, Ohio at 5500 South Cloverleaf Parkway, H&H can handle all your heavy-duty truck needs. Come in and exchange your transmission, differential, or power steering gearbox. But that's not all. H&H is equipped to handle all your parts needs. Permco pumps, Muncie PTOs, Neapco U-joints, Spicer yokes, new Eaton clutches, and more. Let the professionals at H&H Truck Parts handle your transmission or differential installation in one of their 6 service bays. Specializing in drivetrain repairs, stop by and have your drive shaft balanced, flywheel resurfaced, or your clutch installed alongside the best transmissions and differentials on the road. You know why they're the best? Because H&H is Ohio's largest purchaser of Eaton Fuller parts. Need a blower or a pump? H&H distributes Paragon and Permco brands. Names you can trust with your livelihood on the road. Call H&H Truck Parts today for the leader in heavy-duty truck parts and service. Call locally at 216-642-4540. Toll free at 800-601-4540 or check them out online at hhtruckparts.com. Welcome back here on Stark Media High School Football Weekly. I'm TJ Downing, joined by Jim Bostic, Jeff Tyler, and Rod Strata, and we're here inside of X Golf. Make sure to come out and check this place out. You do not want to miss it. Food, drinks, golf bays, multiple golf bays, pool table, shuffleboard, anything you need. You've got different arcade games. You've got all types of things. You got the cornhole over there. Whatever you need, X Golf has it. Make sure to stop out here and patronize these great people. Also, shout out to all of our great sponsors here at Stark Media, promoting high school sports throughout the entire 2023-24 school year. It starts with our friends at Hilscher Clark Electric Company this past week. Jeremiah Thomas from West Branch, Logan Scranton from CVCA, my guy Jadis Jackson. 19 tackles for the McKinley Bulldogs and a big sack on Luke Eckerman. Those were our players of the week. Also, the Eagles FOE 190 in downtown Massillon. Make sure to check them out. Toth Buick GMC and Akron LPL Financial, H&H Truck Parts, Lindsay's Pizza, and McNeil & Sons Tree Service. Also, a big special shout-out to our friends at TKDS Sports, getting us plugged in. Make sure to check out the live stream at starkmedia.tkdssports.com this weekend. Friday, we will be back out in the deal. Glen Oak at Louisville. Glen Oak, we know that they were feeling pretty good after beating Jackson, right? Rod, you kind of seen that excitement from them. That was homecoming night. I don't think a lot of people expected him to beat Jackson, but then you go into Louisville. It's like, okay, Louisville struggling a little bit. If you're Scott Garcia, you just wanted to make sure that you beat Louisville the way that you did, so that you weren't digressing after a big win over Jackson.
Yeah, he's got to keep the momentum going against Louisville, which he should be able to do. But again, he's got to keep that team focused and not think of, the guys are in the locker room going, yeah, we got Louisville. They They haven't had a great year.
We're gonna have McKinley on the backside of
That's
that.
right.
Looking forward.
It doesn't matter. They can bite you. I don't care who you play.
Right.
If you're not focused, it's not good.
Well, let's talk about the adjustments that Glen Oak has made. They've gone with Johnson at running back pretty much full-time now,
Right.
putting Burton in the slot, and now he gives the other brother an opportunity to be the quarterback and adding a whole nother wrinkle to that offense where he can take off and run. And I've saw him in the open field a couple videos this week from last week, and I tell you what, he's shifty. So
yeah, the Burt brothers definitely and Johnson was in the backfield. Yeah, you're right. They made some great adjustments. So if they just stay focused,
You're gonna have to fire on all cylinders this week, though. When you're taking on the Bulldogs at Tom Benson Stadium.
Yep.
I mean, I like it what you do against Louisville, man. You're going to need that and then some.
But
Right.
look,
You take on the
they're in a
Bulldogs.
situation where they know they're not going to win the Fed. It's now time to figure things out, get things dialed in for the playoffs, and see if you can do some damage once you hit playoffs.
yeah, and I think you're on the bubble, right, for the playoffs as well.
Yeah,
The-
4 and
well,
4, yeah.
The good thing is when they take 16, if you're a 500 team, you're probably
true.
going to get in.
Yeah,
but
16 teams. You're right. Yeah.
you start teetering under 500, you know, and you could ultimately end up being a 16 team that's got to go the lamb to slaughter, so to say.
yeah.
Take a 2-hour trip to
You
get
have to
beat by
go-
50.
You have to go west, young man.
Yeah.
TJ,
Or to Kentucky.
I got something. We talk about our sponsors. I'm wearing the Save 22 shirt today.
Yep.
I seen it. Look at you guys.
Look, he's got the United States hoodie on. He's always representing.
Yep.
I had an opportunity this weekend to play some golf with the Save 22 guys and got some gear out of it. And they also gave me something I'm going to give to Rod.
Wow.
Another Save 22 T-shirt.
Thank you.
Rod's always repping. And number
Very
one,
nice.
and look, he's buying me watches, he's giving me hats. Like
You take care of your quarterbacks,
I
man.
gotta take care of my offensive lineman over here. So
Man,
shout out to
that-
Save 22, what they do.
Absolutely.
That's a match made in heaven, man. Shout out to Leatherneck Nation MC and
Would you
our
like a
good friends at
nightgown?
Sam Center, too.
It was a 3X.
Jimmy got a 90.
It's okay. It'll work.
Hey, by the way, I got to interrupt for a minute. So senior tackle, right? So what did they do up there? They tackled the dummy?
They had a tackling dummy, and then a parent or someone would hold that as the young man came out.
Let me rewind a little bit.
Uh-oh.
So senior tackle, my high school, my years. So let's say my junior year I get picked, right? You have to stand like this, okay? Hands right here, clenched. And
Free shot.
there they come. And basically what happens is they pick you straight up and put you right on your back. You lose most of the air in your body. And so
What?
yes, that's how it works. Wow. Not too far away, maybe about 7-8 yards away. You're standing like this.
Hey, old Joe Demering wasn't playing around,
And you think you're gonna, you think, gosh, I'm gonna die here in a minute. But then in my senior year, of course, I picked a guy, and
I was going to say, the senior gets to pick who they want to
right,
hit.
that's right.
Did anybody ever pick the coach?
No, you can't.
Can't pick the coach. No.
I like the
No, but
defensive coach.
This is how it worked, man. And everybody huddles around. You know, it was like a tribal thing, right? And
Sure.
It was pretty brutal.
That's unbelievable. Did you do that too?
Yeah, we did it. We didn't do it again,
it
but
back?
we did it before Michigan. We had senior tackle Thursday practice before we played the Wolverines, and that was always a fun little
You
thing.
got to
to
use a
do.
dummy too.
Yeah,
or
because
Yeah,
Who
we did a tackling dummy. Yeah, we're not losing anybody before Michigan.
Yeah.
That's true.
Scout team, you're up.
my tackling
All right,
dummy
we
was
digress.
my
Dude,
my
no, that's
tackling
awesome
dummy was
story,
number 2
man.
for Michigan.
That is so cool.
I still remember getting hit.
Yeah.
I do. Keep going.
So a couple of the games here real quick that we're going to break through. Central Catholic was able to take down Collinwood. We knew that wasn't going to be
Wow,
much of a game. Central Catholic, we want to remind you, they're going to be celebrating the championship team from 1988, state championship team under Lowell Kleinfelder. They're going to play Jackson this week. Make sure you stop out and check that out. Again, shout out to one of our fallen soldiers, Dave Mono, who won't be in attendance there. He passed away this past year. I know that all of his brothers will be thinking about him out there, Jim.
Hey, I was just going to say I want to shout out our Central Catholic game, Grady Noggle. Grady running back over there, 101 yards, rushing 2 touchdowns. I shot him out because I coached him in youth wrestling. And
his dad is the coach, right?
His
at
dad
Central?
is the coach over
Steve,
at Central.
right?
Yep. And also a veteran.
Yep.
And just a great
Salute.
dude. So, absolutely. But it was kind of cool when I saw Grady's name there. It's funny. His dad brought him over one day. He goes, "Do you remember Coach Bostic?" Of course, Grady was he goes, "Nope." You made an impression on that young man.
Sure did.
How could they forget Coach Bostic?
That's right. He was a little
you are
guy. I don't know.
unforgettable.
That's
my
terrible.
friend.
No, congratulations, Central.
How
I'll tell you
how about Central Catholic? I mean, they're going to take on Jackson, Rod, and Jackson kind of hurt a little bit here after losing the last 3 games. This is a game that I think Central Catholic could probably grab.
I think they can as well, especially if the Boron show keeps going, right?
Yep.
I mean, this young man does it all.
All over the field.
All over the field all day and all night.
Kid's been an athlete from day one.
But again, Jackson's got their back against the wall now again. They came out strong this year. They were 4-1. They've lost the last 3? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
They have.
Yep.
And they haven't been pretty. And if I am Coach Rohr and his staff, I would certainly really be focused on that offensive line this week.
Lighting a fire,
I mean,
man.
they got to figure something out. Like I mentioned a moment ago, they got 2 weeks to figure out what they're going to do come playoff time. They're going to get in playoffs, but they got to figure something out. If you bring 2 running backs back to protect Eckerman, that's what you got to do.
Yeah,
Eckerman
right.
can do some damage with going 2 wide or only 3 wide. You don't have to go 5 wide all the time and get Eckerman pounded all the time. So that's my opinion. What I would do and protect that quarterback a little bit, give themselves a chance.
What Jackson was doing, Jackson was averaging 32 points a game during the first 5 games. Okay. The last couple, they've fallen down to 10 points a game.
Yeah.
Okay, and a lot of that has to in their last 3 game slide, and a big part of that is the inability to do what? Protect the
yeah.
quarterback. And
Yep.
so if you can't protect the quarterback, and that's a critical part of your game or a big part of your game plan, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You talk the defense there, and I understand Collinwood where they are, but you got to have fire just driving. Collinwood had 1 first down all night and a minus 4 yards total offense. That defense is saying, "Bring me some bears."
And I mean, you guys talked about it that Jackson, I think got across the 50 one time against Lake when
Yeah.
they played that.
They got to the
Think
other
about that,
49.
just having 1 first down in that ball game. Hey, how about Poochie Schneider bouncing back after that injury?
about
He was out
that?
there playing. Canton South took on Fairless. Jeff, there's been some injuries that have kind of run through Fairless, have kind of hurt them a little bit, slowed maybe the progression that I think A.J. Starball was hoping to have after these last 3 years, and I believe stretch it to 4 years, which would have been the greatest 4-year stretch as long as he goes 500.
Winning record. So
Winning record.
Probably
So
need 6 and 4.
Yep. So but Poochie Schneider had something to say about it, and he did it with his finger wrapped up, which was dislocated, then lacerated, and then my man went down and he got the golf clubs out and said, "You know what, man, it's all good."
Was he down here at X Golf?
Yeah, man.
But here's the thing.
No?
too. I think
Tommy,
he did a
tough
lot-
guy, man.
He did a lot with his feet, though. He rushed for 186 yards. So, Poochie, he had 186 yards, a few TDs, and he's only 86 yards away from 1,000 yards for the year.
Yeah.
How about that?
I mean, dual threat quarterback.
How
There's
about
no
this
doubt.
quarterback?
We've known for 3 years what Poochie can do.
Yeah.
Canton South has a legitimate chance to go very deep, maybe even get a title. However, if they don't figure out how to stop the other team from scoring 40
That's right.
points,
Yeah.
they're going to have to figure out some defense to go and I think get the title.
And that's what ultimately got them last year when they lost to West Jefferson, because they could not. The defense just couldn't stop anybody. You know, like guys like Landon Karovic and Ethan Fricky, these really good linebackers, they're going to have to figure out a way to get it done.
But Fairless is my guys, as you know. They shouldn't be giving up 35 to Fairless.
No, I just going to say, we're watching that on the OPL Financial. That's coming across the scoreboard, and Dave, and I was like, wow, that game's a little bit closer than
a little more
thought it was
competitive.
gonna be. And didn't you say last week Fairless was dealing with some injuries?
Yeah, they're on their third running back, already depleted because of what they lost in the offseason. So, Fairless fights, as we can tell, because they nearly pulled this big upset off. But that just shines another flashlight on Canton South's defense. They've got to figure out.
Well, yeah, they've had 3 close. I mean, the last few games have not been as far apart as folks think.
Yeah.
They've been closer.
Yeah.
Maybe too close for comfort. So, positive, negative, right? The positive is if they can win games like that, that helps them through the playoffs.
Sure.
The negative is they can't take a chance of losing the game either.
Once you get beyond the second round, man, the defense becomes major important.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
So Marlington was able to take down Minerva. We kind of saw that thing coming.
Yeah.
Minerva's been struggling a little bit. Orville able to take care of business against Tuslaw. And, Tuslaw is going to have to they're going to be bouncing back for the Blue Cup game, Jeff. That'll be coming up next week. Sandy Valley able to get it done over Claymont after struggling in those 2 losses against Indian Valley. They got the running clock put on them, Jim, and then against Ridgewood, they would drop that one. It was more competitive, and now you're going to get a chance to go down there and see them take on Garraway, and if you don't know anything about Garraway, they're freaking good.
I was gonna say
Well, they're 8-0, right?
Yeah.
from the frying pan right into the fire.
But if you're Brian Gamble, you have to try and with the silver lining, so to say, right? You went from a running clock loss to Indian Valley, playing another good Ridgewood team. Ridgewood's been really good over the last couple of years. It's more competitive. Maybe now you can find a way with the magic of Chad Davis, Nick Petro, to kind of make this thing turn it into a shootout with Garraway. Hope you get a couple stops here or there. And
Well, one little stat, and I'll let you go here, Jim. But
no, you're fine, brother.
Garraway's only had 1 game this year where they haven't won it by halftime.
jeez.
yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, Sandy Valley is going to need like 5 Petros
How about
to
that?
compete.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'll tell you what, we're headed down. Of course, Dave Bircher coached at Garraway. He's awful excited. He's got things lined up, guys. He's very excited to go back down
Were they
there.
bringing you like some brisket and some sodas and all that stuff?
Isn't that down in like Amish country, Sugar
Yeah,
Creek?
man.
I mean,
you
maybe we'll
get
get
some trail bologna?
that brisket down there.
There you go.
They got
Oh,
trail
Garraway-
bologna.
Garraway's impressive. Small school, they just put a good product on the field.
Every
year
year after year, you see their name up there. So it's going to be exciting. Petro did what he should have done against a Claymont team, but he's been tested twice. I'm sure he's going to walk in Friday night. There's not going to be any knees knocking. He's going to be ready to play. So Dave and I are excited to bring Stark Media football, and it's going to be I think it's going to be a fun game.
It will be.
Heading south, baby. All right, I like it, man. All right, we're going to step aside here and take a break real quick. When we come back, we're going to dive in. Jeff, we're going to talk some of the press polls. We got the Associated Press poll that's out. We're going to talk some of the computer rankings, where some of our local teams are sitting, and we're going to start diving into our pick'ems, talk about where we'll be this weekend coming up. We'll give you a little teaser here. I'm going to be taking on. It's going to be fun, man. I'm looking to go see West Branch. You guys got to see them last week. Now they're going to take on Carrollton. Carrollton's 5-3, but they're undefeated inside of the EBC, so there's an opportunity for them to do something here. Okay, they took down Alliance recently. Maybe they can slay the monster of West Branch. Jim, you guys are going to be down there, as you mentioned, Sandy Valley at Garraway. You guys are going to be Perry over at Lake. So we'll have a full lineup coming up for you on tkdssports.com. That's starkmedia.tkdssports.com. All right, more back at X Golf after we hear a word from our sponsors. Hang on. Power outages can happen at any time, without warning, and can leave your home powerless for days. Hilscher Clark has partnered with Generac to bring you the #1 selling home standby generator brand, engineered and built in the USA since 1959. With a home standby generator, your home will never lose power again. Generac generators activate automatically in the event of any power loss and restore power to your home within seconds. Don't leave your home unprotected. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark's residential division are experts in their profession and go above and beyond to provide you with quality, efficient service at a fair price. Starting with the estimate, they keep you informed regarding status and completion of your projects. They also give you shorter arrival windows and send you email and text confirmations of your scheduled service appointment, as well as notifications when their electricians are on their way to your home. Hilscher Clark's Google reviews speak for themselves, with more than 270 reviews and 4.9 stars. And if you've just recently purchased an electric vehicle but don't want to rely on public chargers to keep your battery full, Hilscher Clark has all the juice you can handle for your home vehicle charging needs. Hilscher Clark is a certified Q Merit Solutions partner, making them market leaders in electrification and recommended by local dealerships. Visit them online at www.hilscher-clark.com. That's HILSCHER-CLARKE.com. Or stop down and see them at 519 4th Street Northwest in downtown Canton. Or contact Hilscher Clark today at 330-452-9806. That's 330-452-9806. Remember, it's your home, it's our family. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark Electric Company. You came to Stark Media for the best? Well, now you got it. Check out Lindsay's Pizza on 2827 Whipple Avenue Northwest inside of the Hillsdale Shopping Center. The preferred post-game pizza of the Stark Media team is open until 11 p.m., and it has all the essentials for game day. Pizza, chicken, salads, and sandwiches are just a click away at lindsayspizza.com. But you should trust a former Ohio State All-American and just call them right now at 330-477-3800. 477-3800. This is TJ Downing for Lindsay's Pizza, and I approve this message. Cackley Insurance is a locally owned home, auto, and life insurance specialist. Located in Cuyahoga Falls at 619 Portage Trail, Cackley Insurance puts their clients first, and as an independent agent, they are proud to serve their community. As a proud supporter of high school athletics in the community, give Cackley Insurance a call today at 330-929-6006 or visit them online at cackleyinsurance.com. That's KACKLEY insurance.com. And thank you for your support of Stark Media and high school athletics around the area. Welcome back in on Stark Media High School Football Weekly here at X Golf off of Whipple Avenue. Make sure to stop by and check them out. Some really great things going on with them. They have their league that's going to be starting here. Make sure you get out, play around. You have to get your handicap. You'll play Bay Hill right here behind us. They'll handicap you. If you don't do that, you will be starting out as a scratch golfer in this league. So if you want to come out and play, it's going to start on October 23rd. 10 weeks of play, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, $300 a person, 3-person teams. They do have subs. Also, great food here, great beverages. We've already we've had a chance to hang with Jen. We've had a chance to check out all the different things they have inside of here. They got games for the kids as well. So anything you need, contact them at 330-704-4366. That's X Golf right here on Whipple Avenue. And I'm TJ Downing, joined back here by Jim Bostic, Jeff Tyler, and Rod Strata. And we've already broke down Week 8 of Ohio High School football. We're getting ready for Week 9 coming up. It's already here. And we will have our 3 games that we'll be streaming live at starkmedia.tkdssports.com. And now, guys, as we start to look, we're down plus 11.
We're down 11.
Yeah. We've had a lot of turnovers. the turnover margin.
Wait a minute.
I think
somebody went. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You go
no,
ahead.
no, you go. Go.
No. I'm listening.
Okay. I was going to say somebody went 14-0 last week.
I didn't do so bad last week.
Hey.
No, you did well. But
I think
I wish there was a parlay on that.
I think one of my teammates missed a lot of blocks.
Yeah. They call that the crap block. Well, we had a different word for it.
Yeah, they call that the lookout block.
It's like, hey, man, watch out. Somebody's coming for you because I didn't do a very good job.
You just do an ear hole block. You turn your head. Look out. Sorry.
So we will see if we can't get this thing turned around as my partner took some of my tactics. You know, we're dirty linemen, man. We do whatever we got to do, right? We're going to hold. If our hands are inside, we're going to hold. You know, we're going to clip you. We're going to punch you. We're going to grab you. We're going to do all types of things. You know, grow our fingernails out and try and claw your eyes out. And, you know,
whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes to win. We've got great tactics. Rod used to grab guys by their belt and he lift them up off the ground and he pancake them. You know, so hey, whatever's out there, man, we're gonna use it to our advantage. Yeah, man. That's what.
You see pictures of this guy when he's younger?
That's what the great ones do, man.
Tom Selleck over here.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. So
With about after you had about 8 cocktails.
Any of you ladies out there,
a couple all
Tom
you can
Selleck.
a couple all you can eat buffets. All right,
Okay.
guys. Here we
get
go.
after it.
Let's
Pick'ems.
do it.
All right. I think I know where most people are going to go here on this.
Well,
Sandy
can you
Valley,
share
Garaway.
my picks over here so I can see what I picked?
So Sandy Valley, Garaway. I'm going to lean towards Garaway on this one. What you got, guys?
Garaway.
I think that's going to be unanimous.
Yep.
Yep, unanimous.
Okay, so when we look at Carrollton at West Branch.
West Branch looks good. I don't see
Yeah.
him losing anytime soon. I'm going West Branch.
I'm going West Branch as well. And I just want to say one thing to the West Branch folks. What a beautiful campus you have.
Yep.
That was my first time
Super
there
cool.
in my life.
You know, I was going to mention, Rod, you snapped up some pictures and just the setting, the sun coming down over top of the forest out back there. I mean, it's cut right on the backside of the high school. It was a nice setting
It's
out
just
there.
a beautiful setting, great people. Just
Very much like Carrollton.
Yeah,
Carrollton's the same
yeah.
way. Got the
Very
rolling hills
similar.
behind it. It's
But I just wanted
you had
my-
that great picture last year, Jeff, down there.
I just want to give real quick. We'll keep going. My admiration is beautiful campus, great people, and thank you.
yeah.
Yep, we appreciate everything you guys do, and we'll be back out there this week because of that. All right,
West Branch.
West Branch. Aye. All right, Perry at Lake.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to do it again and go against Coach George. But I'll tell you what, Perry's playing very, very well right now. It's going to be, is it Ivonic or is it Baker? Who's going to stop who running? I'm going Lake.
You know, like you said, Perry's getting on a roll. They're figuring some things out. Lake is Lake, and they're going to be there at the end. I'm going Lake at home.
Here we go again. My alma mater, huh? I've kind of picked against. I picked with them. I lost. I picked against them. I lost. Well,
Decisions.
Just take
you know
Perry.
what though? No, I'm not.
No?
No, I'm not. And the reason I'm not is not because Perry doesn't have a good team they're coming around. That Lake defense really impresses me. And if they can come out, there's always these ifs, right?
Yeah.
Shut down a wing T. Ain't no easy deal.
But if they come out and they start, just running after that quarterback and shutting down that run, or at least making that run minimal, I'm going with Lake.
Yeah, I think Lake's front seven's too good.
All right, so far we're 3 for 3. I'm taking Lake as well. And now I think we might have a little something here. Glen Oak at McKinley at Tom Benson Stadium. I'm going to start this one off. I'm going to do you a favor here, Mr. Strata. I will take my alma mater because 2 years ago, if it wasn't for a horse crap call at the end of the game, the Bulldogs would have went down at home. I think the Golden Eagles figure out a way to get it done. I like Glen Oak.
I don't know. Keaton Rohde's got so many weapons. And I know there's times that, they not fall asleep, but just don't seem, it's all there. But, man, when they turn the switch, I got to go Bulldogs.
There's a chance McKinley takes their eye off the ball and Glen Oak does get the W. Very good chance. I'm going to stick with McKinley at home with the home cooking.
Yeah, I'll do the same. I'll stick with the Bulldogs. I think Coach Garcia's got Glen Oak going in the right direction, and this will be a heck of a test. They can pull it up, but can't McKinley for me.
Glen Oak Golden Eagles will get one done for one of our fallen brothers, Catino Demetrio. Shout out to you and your family, sir. Hoover at Green. Interesting little matchup here, both inside of that D2 Region 7.
Flip a coin here. I'm going to go Green just because they're at home.
Yeah, I'm going to go Green with the injuries that Hoover has a quarterback.
That's what I'm wondering. You're right, Rod. Has Derlin played? Has Derlin not played? They said it was a hamstring, I think.
Again, it's a flip coin toss. But, again,
Didn't you say his collarbone?
no, that was Sean Ritchie from Northwest. I believe
did
it was
anybody call
hamstring, I
Apex
think.
Surgical while we're gone there for a little bit? Anybody call find out? Do we know what the extent of what Derlin has gone through?
I do not.
Somebody
Word
needs to do
was
that.
it was a hamstring. He pulled up something in the ham area, hamstring, quad, somewhere in the leg. So I don't know, where we're at. So.
One of those muscles in the leg.
All right,
You know, when you
here
one
we
of
go.
what was that game where you played Operation? You put that. Okay, I digress.
Oh, wait,
right.
so where we got? So and here are the finals on there. Everybody's
I
got
got Green. I got
Green.
I took Green.
Okay. You know what? I like the Hoover Vikings, man.
There you go.
I like Hoover. I think Carson Derlin plays. He's a tough kid. I like some of the other stuff they got surrounded around him. All right, so we
Wait a
got.
minute, I didn't make my pick.
Well, how about today?
You said Green.
Oh no, I was going through. I'm taking Hoover.
Is this one of the? You sending me on a dummy mission over here? You circled one, and I see what you're doing here.
Shenanigans over
Green
here.
circle means I'm not taking that.
I need to pull the sign out here in a minute.
Yes, it is going
don't point
on.
that sign at me. Right over here.
The uckery is going on. Jackson at Central Catholic.
Tough one.
Man.
Jackson on the road is Central. Central's been dealing. Jackson's been struggling. I think Jackson rights the ship, though, goes into Central and gets a win. I'm going Jackson.
We'll keep the skill guys. I'm gonna go the other way, dude. I think Mr. Durbin is been
Divide and
tough.
conquer.
Yeah, well, I just think Central is going on. And little Grady Noggle, I'm gonna be watching you, buddy. So I'm going.
Well, I've been a Jackson fan since we've done 3 of their games, and certainly like Luke Eckerman and Coach Rohr in that defense. But I'm going to go with the green guys, Central Catholic.
Yeah, I like Green at home, honoring the state championship team. So I'm going to go with Central Catholic. I feel good about it. Now he did.
Which state title team they on?
1988.
88.
Now he did circle Central Catholic, so he didn't fool me that time. But we'll we'll
Hedging our bets.
Yeah, we'll hedge our bets. Okay. How about Warren Harding Maslin? I think I know where everybody's heading there.
Boy, why don't we just get to the next game and
Maslin.
pick the Tigers, yeah.
How about CVCA at Orville?
Ooh, that's a good game.
Ooh, that is a good game.
I'm going to go 2 weeks in a row. I got to take CVCA. I think they're figuring it out. That sophomore quarterback's starting to deal a little bit. They're a tough team, and I think they'll go into Orville and get it.
Yeah, late in the season, but it's at Orville. I'm going to go. You know what? I've always picked against CVCA. This time I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I saw. I haven't seen Orville, but what I saw out of CVCA, tough, solid, fundamental football, CVCA.
I like CVCA as well. I will. I'll stay there. I was just going to throw one in there, just say Orville, just to see if I could get one on you. But you know what? CVCA is really playing some really good football. So
They are.
How about Triway at Northwest?
Northwest.
Yeah, Northwest had a rough week last week, right? So I think it was a very humbling experience for them. And I think they'll bounce back. So I'm going to go with Satterfield and the Indians.
Well, I tried to find out where Parker Kraft was as far as how bad that ankle is. I hear he's doing some light running today. So, you guys may know better. Is that good or bad for a Wednesday? I don't know.
We're not telling you. But keep going.
Well, thanks, Rod. Okay, forget that. I'll go Northwest.
Okay, I'll tell you what, man. Triway always finds a way to play people tough in the Pac-7. Now, whether they can do that on the road or not, I don't know. I think CVCA may beat up Northwest. I'm going to go with Triway in this ball game.
Wow. Can I change my pick?
No.
They're down 12. Let it go after that pick.
Listen, we're gonna give Josh Toth a call and let him come up here and pick for you. Now. He's on opposite what you're
That's
doing.
right.
Gonna pull out that trick.
All right, here, Barn Burner, East Canton at Buckeye Trail, both 2-6 clubs.
I got to go with the home team, I guess. Home team, Buckeye Trail.
I'm going Buckeye Trail as well.
Down the trail for me.
Down the trail for you. I'll tell you what, East Canton, Spider Miller, he's going to get it done.
Right.
They're going to get ready to come back and play Malvern in Week 10.
The Hornets.
And, I'm going to take these East Canton Hornets getting it done over Buckeye Trail. All right. It gets a little bit thick.
You've got quite a list to pick from.
Yeah, it's getting a little thicker here now. If you see the direction that this is getting ready to go.
Keep
John
an eye on that
Adams.
one.
John Adams. I like your green star there, partner. John Adams, Collinwood. How do you like this, guys? You got Collinwood, who is 1-3 on the season. John Adams, 1-6.
I'm going John Adams on the road.
I'm going Collinwood at home, 1-3.
I'm going Collinwood at home. I think after what they did over at Central, they're going to bounce right back.
What did they do at Central?
They got waterboarded.
I'm going to go ahead.
They're bouncing back, TJ.
I like the fact that they could bounce back. I just wanted to know what did they do over at Central.
They got
that
one.
stuck out
They
to
got
you.
one first down. Is what they did.
Man,
Well,
that was-
okay, so
sounds
they
like
did something.
That
See?
sounds like a CIA operation.
I was just making sure that you were paying attention to that one first down.
I was, sir.
All right, I'm going with John Adams in that ball game.
Wait a minute. I'm the only Collinwood guy. Let's
all
go,
right.
boys.
It's all good.
All right, JFK, Glenville.
Glenville.
Yeah, Glenville at home.
I'll take Glenville. I did a little research.
Glenville, they're rolling, man. I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen Deshaunte Jones play football yet, man, that kid can run the rock. Glenville might I would think that they'll be in contention for the state championship at the end of the year, especially in that division.
Even
Try to
5 and
repeat.
3, yeah.
All right, here we go. Jim Bostic has this one circled. It's his game of the week. Geneva and Madison.
Well, look the record: 7-1, 7-1. That's pretty cool.
So where do you go?
I'm taking home team Madison.
Ditto.
Wow, I'm going the way guys are going to do it. I got Geneva circled, and I'm sticking by my circle.
You know what? Keep your circle. I'm going to take Madison.
I'd like to change my circle.
How about Garfield Heights, Maple Heights? Battle for the Heights.
For the Heights.
Hey, we want to get you into that competition, Jim. We want to get you into the height competition.
Wait a minute. They're not even on the list.
Yeah, they are right here.
Garfield Heights, Maple Heights.
Oh, okay.
Who'd you circle?
You know what? Am I have to go shave again by the time you're done?
Oh, God.
Well, no,
I'll take Maple Heights. Don't want to rush.
These boots Jim's wearing. You do you wear those when you go to Cedar Point so you get on the rides?
I absolutely do. They've been to Disney and Kings Island.
All right, let's go.
I got my Maple Heights.
Yeah, me too. Gotta go
What'd
to
you
the home
do?
team.
You go Maple
Oh,
Heights?
I said Maple Heights.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I like your circle on this one because it doesn't have a star next to it. I'll go with Maple Heights as well. All right. How about East Tech, John Marshall? East Tech and John Marshall.
Well, let's see. What? One's 2-2. The other one's 3-4. It's going to be a heck of a game. Home team. I got to take the home team. Marshall.
I got Marshall.
John Marshall at 3-4.
I got John Marshall.
I'm going home cooking. John Marshall.
All right, I'll take John Marshall too.
Well,
I'll tell you.
we're not doing much of a spread this week, but let's get started.
Let's thicken this thing up here a little bit. How about River Valley at Galleon?
Ooh.
There's throwing a little wrench in it for you.
Really? I got Galleon taking a home team.
Yeah, Galleon's 5-3, and what? River Valley's 5-3.
4. Well, I had 4-4. Maybe
yeah,
you're
they're 4.
okay.
No, they're 4-4. Yeah, my writing's a little bit off. Yeah, I'm going to go with Galleon.
I think Galleon's had some tougher opponents.
Yeah.
Agreed. I'm going Galleon.
You know what? I don't know anything about River Valley or Galleon, but I'm going with River Valley. I like it.
Teach, don't pass up these 2 question marks because I'd like to know where those 2 schools are from.
How about
4 schools?
How about Grant County at Mason County?
It's an easy one, man. They're in northern Kentucky. It was a part of the Cincinnati region.
Rod, that was not easy. I had to use Google.
The greater Kentucky
Tor,
region.
Brave. I was trying to find a search engine that would find them.
Okay.
It's like a Johnny Cash song over here.
Let me just tell you this.
I'll take Mason County.
Mason
Yeah.
County.
Yeah, Mason County is where I just lost it. Yeah, Mason County's 5-2. That's a pretty good team.
Yeah.
And old Grant County's 3-4. So I'm going to go with the boys at Mason County.
Well, that didn't do much for us, so I'll go with Mason County too. But this, I think, will be one where we will have some division. How about Dayton at Newport Central Catholic?
I'm taking Dayton on the road to
what
get the
state
W.
are they in?
Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, that's not Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Dayton,
Look it up
Newport.
online.
Doesn't matter. Just make a pick.
Dayton.
Still taking Dayton.
Jeez.
I like Newport Central
see,
Catholic.
You know what? I'm going Newport as well.
Yeah, here we
There you
go.
go.
Now this is where the rubber meets the road here, man.
Down
It's,
9.
It's getting thick here. All right, man. I don't know. We're digging. How about Brecksville and Twinsburg?
Should be a good game.
Do I even have that on my list?
It was on.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it
All
was
right.
there.
Yep. I'll take Brecksville on the road.
Yeah, Brecksville's 5-3. They're just going. That's not very far to Twinsburg from there. So I'm going to go with. You know what? I'm going to twist this up a little bit. I'm going to go with Twinsburg at 4-4.
All right.
Home team.
Very nice. I did a little digging. Going home team myself. I'd see who the wins and losses were. I think Twinsburg had a little tougher schedule going with the Twins.
Can you hear this in your headset? Bzzz, bzzz. That's a Brecksville B. Brecksville B's. I've played at Twinsburg before. I don't trust them. Brecksville gets it done.
There's a trust there.
How about Shaker Heights and Medina?
See, wow, Shaker Heights is 7-1. Medina's 5-3. I'm going to go shake it with Shaker.
Would you shake it, Rod?
With Shaker Heights.
All right, baby.
Shake it like a salt shaker.
I'm going to shake with Rod. We're shaking with the Heights.
I'm not shaking it. I'm going Medina.
I like
Wait,
Medina as well
Jeff,
in this ball
listen.
game.
By the
It's a
way,
B.
just for clarity, there's no heights in the middle of this seat, so keep going.
The B is stuck in your headset right there. All right, guys, we are
Getting out of control.
yeah, we're getting low here. All right, hey, Harvey and Cardinal. This is our last one of the evening here. Harvey and Cardinal.
I'm gonna go with the home team at 5-3 versus 4-4 Harvey. I'm gonna go with Cardinal because I did a lot of research on this game.
I'm with him. I'm going Cardinal. It's gonna make a Steve Harvey joke, but no.
We're gonna split. We're gonna split it here, Jeff. I'm going Harvey, buddy.
All right.
I like it too.
Divide and conquer.
Hey, did you know that Harvey? they're not the bees. I'm not going to buzz in here.
Thank goodness.
All right, hey, time out. One more. We're going to throw one in here.
more.
Valley Forge and Normandy, man. It just feels right. Valley Forge and Normandy.
Wow.
Why does it feel right?
I don't know.
Those were both wars, right? I'm going to take Valley Forge.
Yeah,
Going back to Revolution.
Yeah, I mean Normandy is 1-6, so the Germans keep bombing it.
Valley Forge is going to storm it.
Yeah, Valley Forge is more George Washington type, so I'm going to go with Valley Forge at 3-5.
You know what? I went to France one time a couple summers ago. I wanted to get to Normandy, and I had jet lag and didn't make it. So I'm going to take Normandy this weekend. I'm going to
Boy,
Normandy.
thanks for that really interesting information.
It was, Rod.
What did you do over there in France? Did you eat any
He slept.
any baguettes
He slept. He slept. He had jet lag.
Actually, my entire family got off the subway, and I went up by myself, not knowing where the hell I was at
That's
all.
a great story.
It is a
man.
good
Hey,
story.
boy, it's really-
Especially when my daughter tells it.
That's
It was
very
like Home Alone, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Valley Forge. You know what? I'm a PA guy at heart, man. So I'm going to stick with Valley Forge. So those are our picks for the week coming in here at X Golf. Make sure to check them out here on Whipple Avenue. Myself, TJ Downing, Jim Bostic, Jeff Tyler, and Rod Strata. Again, we will be out with our crews around the area. We'll call it not the greater Kentucky area, but we'll be in the greater Stark County area. I'll be out there in Beloit, which is it's gonna be a nice trip. We're gonna have some great games coming up this weekend. Starkmedia.tkdssports.com. Check it out. Also patronize all of our great partners here at Stark Media. Presenting high school sports all year long, 2023 through 24 high school year. Hilscher Clark Electric Company and the Eagles FOE 190, McNeil & Sons Tree Service, Lindsay's Pizza, Apex Surgical, H&H Truck Parts, LPL Financial, Toth Buick GMC in Akron. Make sure to check them out at 3300 South Arlington Road or call them at 330-644-3400. Ask for Josh. Ask him who he's picking in the game. Keep him on his toes. Just ask him if he wants Valley Forge or Normandy, and we'll see which way he goes. Also, a special shout-out again to C.H. Vallis and Associates, Walsh University, Spirit of Stark, Cackley Insurance, Simon Says Promotions, Miracle Motors 42, and TKDSSports.com. Again, shout out to our lovely lady Jen here and her husband Chris. They do a phenomenal job at X Golf. The ladies back there behind the bar. Make sure to come out here, get on these golf simulators. Make sure to get ready for their golf league coming up. That starts October 23rd. You heard the information. Make sure to get out here. You have to play a practice round. It's $300 per person. You'll have 10 weeks of play Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. You can have a sub. Call them 704-4366. Tell Chris that TJ sent you. Tell him that his brother was a great Taft football coach. I don't know what he's doing over there at McKinley with the golf team, but you know what? They do a great job here with golf, so make sure to check out X Golf. All right, guys, looking forward to Week 9. It's coming up, man.
Yeah, can I make I would like one comment before we close. Again, this is purely from a humanitarian perspective, taking all the noise out. I just want to say that personally, my thoughts and prayers are those folks over in the Middle East going through this conflict, and again, this is not political. It's just from being a human perspective, and I just want to say that does not go unnoticed, and not there's a lot of empathy. So just want to say
No
that.
doubt about it. And as our own forces here in the United States get ready to prepare themselves for what could happen, we always want to make sure that everybody gets behind our veterans here at home.
That's right.
No veteran should have to go without a meal. No veteran should be sleeping on the streets. No veteran should be committing suicide when they come home. Make sure to get behind Save 22. Go to Save 22. Check out their website. They do some great things. It's over at save22.vet. Also, the SAM Center, Serving Area Military. Over 6,000 pounds of food given back into the community every first and third Friday of the month back to our veterans in the community. Veterans in need. They should not be in need for what they've done.
Right.
No way.
Make sure to take care of them. And the Marines over there at Leathernecks Nation, MC, what a great job that they do. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us here inside of X Golf. TJ Downing for my partners Jim Bostic, Jeff Tyler, Rod Strata saying so long. We'll see you out there on Friday evening.